An explosive lightweight clash headlines UFC 291 in Salt Lake City when fan favorites Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier fight with the BMF title on the line. Here for the preview once again on UFC Breakdown, the head man at Fortis MMA, Sayif Saud. Sayif, the BMF belt was tailor-made for guys like Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje. And not only is that belt on the line, the winner of this matchup puts themselves in quite a great position to challenge for a title.
Absolutely, Brendan. I mean, this fight, the first one was incredible. Everybody wants to see this rematch. We have Dustin Poirier, a precision and powerful southpaw who can also fight orthodox. He's not just a puncher. He has great kicks. He mixes it up beautifully. Now he's got this experience on his side. 5-round fights. We see him in over and over again. He just seems to have the patience and the wherewithal to find that shot and finish. On the opposite side, we have Justin, the Hightlight Gaethje. The nickname says it all. Incredible puncher with devastating power, but his leg kicks might be the best thing that he does. He's ferocious. He walks people down. He's got a grit and tenacity that we really don't see out of many fighters. He wants a war. These two together are going to be absolute fireworks. This is one you got to circle on your calendar. I can't wait to see this fight.
Fight of the year. I think I'd start with this one circled on the calendar for what I want to watch. Let's go into Fight Focus. And obviously, these guys are credentialed. We'll dive into the X's and O's. But first, as we do, when they have a history, we'll go into Fight One. It was 5 years ago now when they headlined in Arizona, and what an epic fight it was.
Absolutely. And we're going to start right from the beginning of this fight. And this is like a microcosm of the whole fight, right? We're going to see Poirier come out. We know that Poirier is a southpaw most of the time. That's an important detail. And Gaethje's orthodox. But I just want you to watch this. Watch Poirier right out the gate. He makes that angle, okay? Right out the gate, he's over here. He knows he needs to stay away from Justin's right hand and then also Justin's leg kicks, right? Justin blasts. He's got a powerful right hand and great leg kicks. So we see right out the gates that Dustin's trying to organize that. Comes back in the middle again. He's trying to make that angle. And now, again, we see he came back and went back again, and he's still trying to get outside that foot and get that lead position. And we're going to see what he does right here. He's going to just go ahead and start with his jab, 1-2, right? And he throws that 1-2, and we see Gaethje just kind of walking it in, getting a little bit closer and a little bit closer to him over and over again. And then this is important. So we see Justin cutting him off, right? They're squared up right now. They're facing each other. They're right in the middle of the A zone. I mean, if we see this, they're kind of right in the middle. And every single time that Dustin does this, watch what Gaethje does. Every time he tries to plant, he knocks that leg. So this is the very beginning of the fight, right? When Dustin comes in front of him or he's standing in front of Gaethje in that A zone, Gaethje is trying to take out the inside of that leg. And this is a strategy that we're going to see over and over in this fight. It's kind of one of the biggest details of the fight. So he bangs the leg. Okay, he's in front of him. Gaethje fires some shots. Dustin comes back. There's that leg kick again. Now this is important right here. We've got Justin backing Poirier up against the fence. Poirier's got his eyes on him, and this is important. You guys got to watch the vision of Dustin Poirier now as an experienced athlete. He's always looking at guys, watching them, making his reads. He's very, very smart, and he is doing this every single fight in these 5-round fights. He's very patient. So we're going to see him here. He starts to move back, and as he starts to move back, Justin's like, okay, time for me to kick the leg again. But you can already see it. Dustin has made that adjustment, and now he is timing that, and he knocks Justin off balance right here. And this, like I said, is the microcosm of the fight. Dustin trying to time that left hand and Gaethje trying to land the leg kick. Gaethje bangs the leg. Dustin cracked him that time, got a little bit closer. So we see Dustin trying to find his timing. Gaethje's taking out the leg. This is the whole first round. And again, this is the battle that's going on. Here we go in the second round. We see Dustin starting off with the boxing. He's touching Justin. Justin's bleeding a little bit. And this was a back and forth fight right here. And we're going to see this footwork right here. And this is something that Dustin does often. And we're going to talk about this. Here we see him in the southpaw stance. He's southpaw. He's got his back foot here. We see Gaethje is in his normal orthodox stance. But watch this little trick that he's going to do here. He's going to step back. And when he steps back, he goes to orthodox. He bangs the leg. This is his way of not getting his leg kicked and him landing his own shots on Justin. So these are little adjustments that we see Dustin make. But again, they're in front of each other, and we're going to see Justin here blast that leg hard again. So we see this corner shot right here. This is Thiago Alves, probably one of the best leg kickers we ever saw at welterweight. Automatically icing this leg. He's got it elevated. And this was a problem for Dustin. I mean, he was tagging that leg. So the fight was very, very close going into the third round. They're trying to get Dustin moving here, stop that leg kick from coming. And here we go. Whoa, look at Dustin. He will do this sometimes. He will level change and shoot these shots. He's got okay wrestling. He likes to stand, but he will transition. And this is going to be interesting to see as they move forward. Is Dustin going to incorporate some wrestling in this fight and try to change the tempo up? Or is it going to be Justin? And so here we see Dustin. Here's a nice little elbow lead that he goes for, and Justin ducks under. And look at the opportunistic takedown. And again, it's not perfect, but Dustin lands these. Gets a nice little takedown here, changes up the tempo, but Gaethje's not easy to hold down. So they're back up on the feet, and the battle continues. Justin trying to land the punches, and Gaethje landing the hard leg kicks. And this fight was very close. Now, here we go. This was probably one of the biggest punches landed in this fight. And Gaethje, if you stand in front of him, can I borrow you really fast? Mm-hmm. So get southpaw for me. That's your original.
Yeah,
that's your original stance. You love that.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that Dustin is going to try to move outside of that leg a little bit, right? And line that left hand up. Boom, right? And whenever he drifts back this way, Gaethje hits him with that big right hand. He's got a very big right hand that we're going to talk about. And you're going to see right here, they're in the middle of each other, both in the A zone. And we're going to see when Dustin stays there, Justin's going to wait, boom. And that was a hard punch. And we're going to see the reaction from Poirier. He backs up, man. And he's like, oh, let me get ready. And here comes Gaethje. He loves the dirty boxing. He kept the pressure going in this third round. He was being super aggressive. There was an eye poke that kind of stopped things, but we see Gaethje's getting momentum with the uppercuts and the dirty boxing. It's a real war by this point. Both guys are bleeding. Both guys are putting it all out there. Now here we go to round 4, right? And this is kind of, like we said, the microcosm of the fight, and this ends up being the undoing of Justin. Justin is going to throw that inside leg kick, but he's just not really paying 100% attention, and he doesn't set it up. And I want to take a look at Dustin right here. If you look at Dustin, he is totally locked in. He's got all of his weight settled. He's ready to strike right here. I mean, he is ready to counter. And when a guy is in this position, you don't want to throw naked kicks at him because he can touch you, right? And if I hit you in the chin, I can knock you out. Your leg kicks are going to hurt me, as they definitely hurt Dustin, but I can survive that, right? So that's not a trade-off that you want to do in MMA. It's not a trade-off that you want inside the octagon. And here's the mistake that Justin makes. He goes to the well once too many times, and we see Dustin, he's going to sit down on this punch, and he's going to land it perfectly. And you can see the impact right here. I mean, we see Gaethje's chin turn, and Gaethje's got a hell of a chin, but this punch rocks him, and this was the beginning of the end. Dustin jumps on him, right? He is got this incredible ability to finish guys, and he switches stances here. It doesn't matter. He'll square up. He will throw from the orthodox to southpaw, but he will keep on throwing. When he gets guys hurt like this, he is a killer, and he puts Gaethje away right here, finishes the fight in the 4th round. It was a very competitive fight, a barn burner. I'm sure the next one will be as well.
Well, now we'll dive into the respective skill sets of these guys. And no surprise that boxing is at the top of the list. They are known for heavy hands and durability and great technique. We'll start on the side of Justin Gaethje. This guy has power in his hands, but he also has some great technique working with Trevor Whitman.
Devastating power, especially in the right hand. He throws it a multitude of ways, right? He mixes up the target. Let's take a look. Also a great jab and a good hook that he uses as well. So here he is against James Vick. And we're going to see how he starts this fight. When guys get against the fence, they're always going to try to exit out, right? He knows that he's got to get out of there because he is in front of the power side. We know Gaethje has a big right hand. So Vick's like, all right, I'm right in front of him. I need to move, okay? And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to go and start to move. But as he starts to try to circle out, Gaethje's so good at this. He's going to throw this left hook, and let's watch the way he does this. We're going to see it right here. When you look at it, he's not even trying to throw a punch, Brendan. He's trying to corral him, right? His hand is literally open. And this just shows you the mindset of Gaethje. He's not just in there throwing bombs. He's also a thinker. He's trying to corral him. Hey, come back over here, buddy. I got something to show you. And that's exactly what he does. He's going to corral him. He's going to knock that arm down and kind of get that chin straight in the air right there. He closes the fist at the end, but he kind of gets his chin elevated in the air, and then he just falls up perfectly with his huge right hand. I mean, just right on the chin. Drops Vick, takes him out. This was a big knockout. And again, Gaethje has this ability against the cage to really kind of get guys backing up. And when they try to exit, he does a good job of cutting them off. Again, look at where he's at. Look at where his leg is. He's already went outside to where Vic is going. He's going to land that big shot over the top. Boom. So there's the right hand from the rear. Big power, knockout power. Takes Vic out pretty easily. So here he's against Barboza, and he's backing Barboza up. And we said, Gaethje loves to pressure people. His whole thing is, let's get in a fist fight, guy. Yeah. Come on, I want to throw down with you. I want to see how far you're willing to go into this hole, because I'm willing to go all the way. And so he starts pressuring Barboza, and we see him trying to back Barboza up again, and here's a similar situation. So Barboza knows, okay, here's the right hand, here's the right leg, this leg is in the air. Barboza's like, I got to get out of here. Let me kind of circle wide here. Because Gaethje is kind of already here, he kind of forces Barboza to go that way, right? And that's what pressure does. You got to make a quick decision. You're in my face, you're walking me down. I got to make a quick decision. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I go right, sometimes I go left. But watch what Gaethje does here with his right hand. He's going to go ahead and he's going to throw it here, and then he's going to step through. And once he sees Barboza trying to exit, let's look. He is now standing southpaw, and he's going to throw this right hand as the lead, and we're going to watch him connect this shot perfectly right on the chin. We'll take another look at that. Down goes Barboza. He is out. No follow-up needed. Let's take a look. The chin is in the air because Barboza is trying to back out and exit. Like I said, similar to Vic. And here's where that location of Gaethje is just amazing. Right on the chin. That was it. Drops him. So there it is from the lead, the right hand from the lead. We saw it from the rear. Now we see Gaethje from the lead. Great execution from him. Now here he is, fighting the Hall of Famer Donald Cerrone. Oh, he drops our buddy Cowboy, and he's violent here. He's very violent to finish. Does the job, gets Cowboy out of there. But let's look. This is Gaethje fighting back, which we don't ever see. We never see Gaethje backing up. We don't really see this a lot. But this just shows you that he's got a multitude of ways of throwing it. He lets Cowboy's coming straight in. Hands are down, chin is straight in the air, and there's no worse punch to get hit with than when you come forward with your chin and I hit you, because force is meeting force, right? As you come forward and I throw, you multiply the force, and that's exactly what happens here. As Cowboy comes forward, Gaethje's gonna just slip back out of the way of that shot and come right over the top, and he's just gonna nail Donald. And that's a punch that really hurt Donald. Drops him, and then Gaethje finishes. Let's take a look at him and Mike. Here's where he uses the hook and tries to set things up. So let's watch this. Gaethje's gonna throw this hook right here with his lead hand, and Chandler's gonna do a pretty good job right here. He's got his hand up, blocks it. He's got his chin down. He's got his shoulders tucked in. I mean, he's in good position. So Gaethje's making that read right there. He's seeing the reaction of Chandler there. He sees what Chandler does. He's like, okay, this is your reaction, to kind of crouch down when I throw that hook. So we're going to see what Gaethje does here. He makes his read. He sees it. He's like, all right, here we go. As Chandler comes back into the picture, we're going to see Gaethje. He's just going to flash that lead hand just a little bit. And watch him flash the lead hand right here. Here comes the left hand. Just going to be a tiny little flash. There it is. And there's your reaction again, okay? So we see hands up, chin is down. But look at what Justin is getting ready to do. And we're just going to let this play here. Boom, lands a huge uppercut. And he sets that up so perfectly. And this is a better look at it. Here we see him flash that lead hand right here. He just flashes it, and we see Chandler get completely protected, right? Chandler has got his chin down, and Gaethje is way down here, right? But Gaethje is going to bring this thing up all the way up through here, and he's going to land this thing perfectly. And when we watch this and we let this thing play, Chandler's in a great spot right here. He's going to extend his jab out, and he's going to lock his shoulder right here. So this really, this is what you want in fighting. Chin is down, and you see the position that Chandler's in. He's got his hand up, and just watch this shot here. Watch the location here. Boom, just pops it up perfectly. This really just tells you the skill and the location ability that he has with that right hand. He knows how to fit it over the top. from the lead, from underneath, drops him. And I mean, that's when you tell your guy, man, you were doing all the right things. And here he is finally against Rafael. And we put this in here to show the progression of Justin. He's getting more patient and he's just getting better, right? And we see this experience. He's going to throw the jab again, and Rafael is going to slip this and kind of do the right thing. And you can kind of tell he feels like he's out of position maybe to get hit with the right hand over the top. So he's going to kind of bring that elbow in and he's going to shell up right here. Let's watch him shell right here. And he sees Justin kind of loading this hand. And he's like, let me get this up top. Let me protect myself from that big right hand. It's probably coming trying to hit me in the temple or the ear. But again, Gaethje, he's got a different plan, and we're going to watch that. He's so good at that. He'll level change, and he, again, is going to find the spot, and he's going to direct traffic right to the chin. And the way that he does this, he brings this punch all the way down there from Mississippi. You don't really see it coming, but he's so good at getting you to dip your head, bang, right? And he gets that shot over and over again. Right hand, uppercut, right hand, lead, right hand from the rear. Justin Gaethje, a devastating puncher, good left hook, good jab, complete boxer, very dangerous and getting better, Brendan.
And that was against Rafael Fiziev. He dropped the first round. Usually he plays with the lead, but that one he showed his maturity and patience to kind of come back and get the victory earlier this year in London. All right, Dustin Poirier, he has painted some masterpieces with his hands as well, has some great boxing to break down.
Dustin the Diamond Poirier, one of the best boxers in the lightweight division, without a doubt, maybe even the UFC. He is a technical southpaw, but he will also fight orthodox and switch his legs in a really incredible way. And he also has power and precision as well. A lot of maturity here from Dustin. He's really grown. Let's just take a look here. We got to start with this one, right? We got to start with Conor. And the reason I put this in here was because, you know, Conor had beaten him previously and really got in his head. And this just kind of really shows the growth of Dustin. And here we've got two southpaws. I mean, just throwing down. I mean, they're right here we go as the A zone right in the middle, man. And they're both looking at each other, both of them locked in, 1 for 1. I mean, you just look at this battle right here, hand fighting. I mean, they're coming at each other. The left hand is what's dangerous here, and they're both 50-50 here because of the stance. But watch what Dustin does here. Conor's going to throw his straight, but Dustin's going to go around. And when he does this, he lands this punch perfectly, and he makes the adjustment. He must have studied the tape. Now he is outside of Conor's left hand, and that's how a southpaw can beat a southpaw. He's outside of Conor's shot, and he lands his shot. Nice punch, gets Conor, and you're going to see him come back over the top, try to land this hook. And to Conor's credit, he kind of is like, all right, let me back up here. Conor goes to throw a kick right here, try to create some space, but you're going to see Dustin's going to grab that leg. Right there, he's got the knee, and we're going to see him. These are just the little things that he does. His head, again, way off the center line, and Conor is way up and down, right? And he's going to use that, and he's going to hit him again, square in the chin. And now Conor's off balance again. He's going to kind of stumble backwards, and there's Dustin, hot in pursuit, coming after him. We've seen this over and over again from when he hurts people. Whoa, who's the first one to shoot the shot here? I'm just saying, right? And it was Conor. So this just shows you Dustin's progression and his ability to deal with someone he's already lost to. Got to put this in here. This just shows his ability to throw punches in bunches. When he gets somebody hurt, he will just go ham on them. And he's very good at finding ways to finish and locating these shots. Conor's surviving here, but Dustin just keeps on going, and we're going to stop it right here. And I want you to see this. Let's get that foot back a little bit. Poirier will do this. He will switch from southpaw, and he will step through an orthodox in the middle of these barrages. And this is his right hand right here that he's going to use. And this was really the shot that dropped Conor. Boom. He drops Conor with that shot. And again, orthodox, big punches to finish. So he will switch his feet around to get that power transfer on both sides. And then let's watch this. This is kind of rare from him. Here he throws it over the top. Head is down. This is the overhand. So we're showing he can land that left hand. He can blow it straight. He can throw it over the top, similar to our guy Gaethje, right? He finds a way to land that punch. And this was so impressive because Max was just killing people with his boxing at this time. Here we see him now throwing an overhand with the right hand, right? and the right leg again back and landing a clean shot on Max. So orthodox, southpaw, both hands have power. His ability to put the punches together, really locate, hurt these high-level strikers, outboxing these guys and beating them to the punch. Dustin Poirier, super impressive.
We mentioned in their previous matchup how big leg kicks were for the game plan of Justin Gaethje. He's done that throughout his career.
Absolutely.
His UFC debut against Michael Johnson. He did it well against Khabib in his title fight as well. Leg kicks got to figure to be a big factor this time around as well.
A staple of Gaethje's offense are these leg kicks. He throws them early and often, and he is ferocious. He loves to try to break people. So here we see he's going to get Rafael with this little feint right here. He's just going to give him a little feint. And he's thinking, all right, he's going to kick. And I mean, this is a lot of space right here. I mean, you look at the space that's between these two. I mean, if I'm him, I'm thinking, I'm all right here. I'm not going to get hit. And this shows you Gaethje's ability to close distance. Watch this. As Rafael tries to circle kind of away, watch Gaethje take this huge sprint step, huge, and just jumps right into that kick. And I mean, when you see him land, right, that other foot is turned all the way out that way. He's got all that momentum in it. And look at this. Rafael is one of the best leg kickers too. Watch him spin him around. So, I mean, that really messes with your mindset when you're the guy that kicks people's legs and this guy comes out and starts banging your legs and spinning you all around. So just the way he sets it up, very impressive, and he sprints into it. Here we see him feigning and faking, and Chandler's reacting, backing up. He's like, all right, looks like he's loading that overhand. I mean, he's getting low. It looks like he's going to come in and blast me. Let me back up. Let me get my spacing. Look at Gaethje. He's got the hands high. I mean, he looks like he is coming straight in for war right here. And the thing about Gaethje is you got to respect that because he does that over and over again. Here I come. I'm coming heavy. Bang. Now let me just blast your leg here. So real slick little setups with the feint and the fake. The pressure, again, we've seen that twice now. He will pressure guys with feints and fakes. And I put this in here because this just shows you how opportunistic he is. Let's look at the position they're in right here. You're going to think, okay, maybe he's going to punch him to the body here, right? Maybe he comes with an overhand or an elbow or something. I mean, these guys are in super close. Maybe he's going to grapple. I don't know. Who knows what he's going to do? Nope. Gaethje has a different mindset. Gaethje's got different vision in his head, the way that he sees leg kicks. No one does it the way that he does. He is going to slip all this right here. And he is going to target this leg super hard, right in close, and bang that leg hard. And you just don't think that when you're right next to someone and you guys are down here that you're going to get kicked in the leg. But he saw that opportunity with Chandler, had all that weight on his leg, bangs the leg beautifully, spins him around like everybody else. And here he is against Tony Ferguson. And you give him an opportunity to hit your leg, he's going to hit your leg. Tony Ferguson starts off here, right? But he's going to circle this way. And Gaethje sees that. Gaethje's watching him. And anytime that you give him a chance to set up an easy leg kick, you're going to get hurt. And this is probably one of the hardest leg kicks you're going to see. And I'm going to explain to you why. So Gaethje sees him slide over and he slides over just a little bit. Bang. Now, this leg kick is so hard, and I want to tell you why it's so hard. Let's stop it right here. This is the strike zone for the leg kick. The shin, right? The foot shouldn't even be on the target. So whenever you see a foot hit here or hit here, that's not what the person's trying to do. They want to hit with the shin bone, right? Even to the calf, even to the meat of the thigh. It's like a baseball bat. You see his foot isn't even close, right? And you don't see this a lot. This is such a clean kick. It's like taking a little billy bat and just nailing somebody in the leg. And watch what happens. He's also good at getting low and moving his head offline. Watch Tony. I mean, that's why, because it's such a hard kick, stings so bad. Justin Gaethje always chopping down the legs and really breaking the confidence of people, walking them down very violently.
We'll switch it back over to the striking of Dustin Poirier now, and he has the record for most UFC lightweight knockouts, and it's not just from the hands. He also can mix it up like Justin Gaethje can. He has some striking diversity.
Not all hands, not just a boxer. He's got great kicks. He mixes all his techniques up beautifully, and he sets it all up with his great footwork that we talked about, switching stances and getting really creative. So Here we see him against Conor. Conor kicked him in the leg. He's like, oh, you want to kick me in the leg? All right. He's going to circle to that side, and we're going to see him here. He's going to bang the leg, right? Conor tried to kind of check that, but again, remember, he was attacking the legs, and that was giving Conor issues later on, and we all know what happened there. But it's not that's impressive. So Conor's kind of off balance. We're going to see Dustin backs up. He's southpaw. Now watch this. Boom. He jumps from here as he backs up and then just switches stances and jumps right into that jab. So if I'm backing up like this, I need southpaw, baby.
Oh, sorry.
If I'm backing up like this, right? And you're like, okay, I've got my read. And then I change the picture on you really fast. And this is exactly what he did. Conor had that leg kick, that front kick ready to fire. But by him going like this, right? And then switching stances, the kick goes here, the punch goes here, and he lands that jab. Mm-hmm. So this is super creative by him. He's going to try to follow it up with the right hand. Conor does a good job of kind of getting his shoulder up here and kind of seeing it coming. So this is how Poirier will switch his feet and use kicks to land punches. So here he goes low, and then he comes back up high with Max, and then look, he's got Max so worried about all that. Again, starting southpaw and then kind of stepping through and then banging the leg orthodox. And we'll take a look at it from our camera 7. Our beautiful top view, bop, bop, bangs the leg. So real slick footwork here. And this is just him being dirty. He's in the clinch here. And we see that Mike has got this inside position. And he's just going to kind of shirk that off is what we want to do. And then he's going to come back with the other side elbow. So we shirk and then we load the other elbow. Boom. Crushes him with that elbow in close. So he doesn't always box. Nice elbow landed, bloodies Mike up. And here he's against Eddie. And again, we've just got to talk about the way he sets up his strikes. Here he is again, southpaw. This is the lead. Eddie's looking at him. He's saying, okay, this guy's southpaw. I know I need to worry about that left hand. I know I need to worry about his boxing. And watch what he does. He's just going to do a quick little step through right here. Dustin goes, all right, here it is again. Now he steps through. Now he's orthodox. So by him changing his feet, right, the whole picture changes. And Eddie's like, wait a minute. And now look at what stays. Eddie's head is trying to catch up with what's going on, but Dustin's already got his target, and he is going to hit that target exactly what he wants. Like, he's already keyed in on that from the footwork, and here it comes. Look at that leg. I mean, it's just hanging out, and then Eddie's like trying to pull it back, but it's just too late. He clips him, gets him off balance, and there's nothing more embarrassing than getting knocked off balance like that, the guy playing the high-low on you, and you're always a step behind. Beautiful stuff from Dustin Poirier.
All right, we're not done with striking completely because they will strike from in close, and we'll explore that next. Justin Gaethje was an All-American wrestler in college. He does not like to wrestle, but he will go into the clinch. He says he wants to make it a car crash, and he certainly does a lot of work there. He stays aggressive from in close.
I mean, you just summed it all up. With that kind of forward pressure coming downhill, you're going to end up in the clinch a lot. He flows beautifully into big knees and elbows. He's also got exceptional dirty boxing. And here he goes against Michael Johnson. This is his first fight in the UFC, him showing everybody who he is. Lands that beautiful knee. But here's what I want to talk about. He likes to post on people's head, right? He does this over and over. He'll post on people's head and just kind of press them there. And we're going to see him here against Johnson. He pushes against the head. He's like, what do I want to hit him with? Boom. Let me hit him with a big right hand. Let me make this dirty. He'll throw kicks here too. It's really nasty. There's a nice knee, and then he's going to locate. And you can see he's got the position right here, exactly what he needs. He's hanging on the head. He's got Johnson's head straight down, and then he's going to bring this knee straight up, and that's going to be it. Bang, drops him right here. This is an example of what he does to people against the fence. He is nasty against the fence. Here he is against Chandler, and he's got inside position right here. Chandler's here. We got a tie plum going on, and got to give a shout out to our guy, Trevor Whitman. He's always got that big smile on his face, like he knows a secret, like something's about to happen. And he would be right here, because watch what Justin does. He's going to pull that left hand out. He's going to keep control with the right hand. He's just going to land that elbow. And I wonder if he was trying to attack this cut. It makes sense that he would do that. But Chandler, being the smart fighter that he is, and he can take damage, he kind of sees it coming. He puts his head down, which is what you want to do. You want to put your head down. He still bangs that elbow. He forces people to put their head down. So he's just going to reach out with his left hand right here. Let's watch his left hand and the positioning of his left hand. He's going to reach out and try to grab Eddie's head. And Eddie knows about this clinch. He's seen the knees. He's seen everything. He's like, I don't want that. So Eddie sees that, and he's like, man, you're not grabbing my head. So he kind of tucks his head down. Again, similar to Chandler, like, this is what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to do this. So these are the right things, right? Let me get out of the way. But here comes our guy again, and here it comes, all the way from down south. He sees it again, and I want to let this play and watch this impact that this punch has. He tries to grab the head. He looks down. Bam. Pops him up with that nice uppercut. And here he is falling in, right? We said it's a car crash. He's falling into Eddie. He's going to crash into people all the time. He's just going to grab that plum and watch how opportunistic he is. Boom. This is a great knee that he lands right to the breadbasket, and it's quick. He will transition, fall in, right into those knees or right into those elbows, always keeping the pressure on his opponents. Justin Gaethje, great dirty boxing. He's great in the clinch.
On the other side, Dustin Poirier, as we keep it in close quarters, he is not afraid of the clinch. He is not afraid of dirty boxing. Just as Justin Gaethje doesn't really use his wrestling, Dustin Poirier doesn't always use his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but he does have one, and we have seen him force some submissions in the octagon.
It's crazy, right? These guys mirror each other, man. That's why this fight is so awesome, right? They have all these tools, but they just want to stand and bang with each other. Dustin, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt with a good guillotine, dangerous on the ground, but he usually will use his offensive wrestling to change the tempo or defensive wrestling to keep it on the feet. Let's take a look. Here he is against landing big knees against the fence, right? This is self-explanatory. He'll get guys against the cage, and he will keep going. Elbows this time, though, and knees instead of punches. Great work here. And here we see Dan Hooker trying to get him down. And, I mean, guys are going to try to wrestle you when you're that good on the feet. And here's the details. Right away, we want to go wrist control, right? We want to break that lock and try to take away that wrist control. And we see him doing that. We're going to watch him turn inside. He's going to turn and face what we want. And now he goes right in here. He throws this little knee, but it's this head control, and he's in super tight, but he's very, very calm. Let's watch. He's going to land this elbow. I mean, his elbows are pressed against his body right here, but he'll create just enough space. He's so slick right here. He's always thinking, boom, right? I mean, in that tight little window where the guy's face to face with him, just enough space, bang, lands this elbow. Watch him try to get out of here, true, and kind of circle out, which is really good. And I put this in here. I just think it's so cool. Again, he's got that inside position, but he's going to throw these hammer fists like this, right? Like these little reverse hammer fists. And it just shows you his experience. I mean, these are just crafty little shots, man. And Dustin does that. He's very crafty on the inside, very good inside the clinch. And here we go. So Dustin's beating you up. He's walking you down. He's pressuring you. He's pressuring you. I got to shoot a shot. Well, you shoot a shot on him. Here comes the guillotine, especially if you hang your neck in there. Hooker was ready for that. He pops his head out right away. Okay, so we will see him attack guillotine. He attacked at Khabib. He's attacked a lot of people. He's got a very good squeeze. But what I like about Dustin is in this experience now where he used to lay on his back sometimes, he's going to pop right up, man. I mean, he's out of there, right? He goes for the submission. It doesn't work. He's right back on the feet, making Hooker work like, man, I didn't get anything. Oh, now I'm going to wrestle you. And this is experience here. Dustin really changed the tempo on him. Very intelligent stuff. And finally, this was a war against Chandler, an absolute war. And Chandler actually initiates this takedown, and they end up in a crazy scramble. But here's when we got to talk about that black belt acumen here. You see him, he's got so much dexterity because this isn't really a comfortable position. I mean, he's got the body triangle, and his foot is against the ground. I mean, you've got to be very flexible and comfortable here. And Dustin was just hanging out there. So that's just obviously a position he's been in so many times. And he does this very, very well. And we're going to see as he starts to take Chandler back, and that's not easy to stay in that spot like that, just shows you how efficient he is with his grappling, even though he doesn't use it a lot. We're going to see this right here. This is not sunk, all right? I mean, it's more of a crank, you know? I mean, he's on the top of the head, so Chandler can rip the arm down, which is exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to go 2-on-1 and take that choking hand and get that off so he doesn't have that pressure to squeeze. And this just shows you the adjustments that Dustin makes as a black belt here. As he pulls him back down, the choke isn't sunk. But watch this. He fights the hands here. You're going to see Chandler fight the hands right here. Again, what do we say? 2-on-1, right? I want 2 hands on that. You can't choke me with 1 hand. And let's watch the hands here the hand fighting. Let's watch how this goes down. He is going to rip that behind, and he's going to stay with that choke, stay with that choke, stay with it. And once he gets it behind his head, now what? Now it's behind his head. And not only that, he starts to torque Chandler's body with this lock, right? And let's watch this foot. Let's see what this foot ends up doing here, too. Let's just go real slow so we can get it. Look at the bend back right here. And this is when you're really like, I got to get out of here. And the choke will slide under the neck because as you keep coming up and backwards, right? When you're getting extended, your chin comes up. And this is exactly what he wants. I mean, he's got him bent over. This is sunk right here. He's behind the head. You're not getting out of there. So the reason I put this in here, Charles Oliveira did do this to Justin Gaethje. I don't know if that's going to happen. Poirier-Gaethje is a different matchup, but Poirier has the ability to finish here with that black belt and those details. So really impressive stuff from him on the ground as well.
Shapes up for an amazing matchup. Now we get to the X factors. Justin Gaethje, he just has that something that you can't teach.
No.
You can't really learn.
No.
You just have to be that kind of fighter that he is, which is why he's such a fan favorite.
It's like you said, he's an NCAA All-American, but he doesn't wrestle. People shoot shots on him. They call him the highlight for a reason. This guy's just meaner than most, man. I mean, we just have to say it. He loves to try to break guys. And this is Gaethje. This is who he is. Here he is against Michael Johnson. Early in his career, he's hurt. And we see Gaethje here a lot, man. He's stumbling around. But wait a minute. If you got a guy hurt, he's backing up, and he's almost out, right? Are you shooting a shot? You're trying to take a takedown? You know what? Most people say, oh, that's terrible. But Gaethje's so dangerous, people don't want to stand with him. And this speaks to it. Michael Johnson shoots this shot. Maybe he should have stayed on the feet. Maybe not. But let's see what Gaethje does. He loves this. It kind of gets him going. This is just shortly after. This gets him wound up. When he gets hit, it's like it wakes him up, and then he just keeps coming. And he's like a demon, man. You cannot stop him. This is the fight he wants. Come on, bud. Let's go. Let's go. Who's tougher? What do you got? And he tries to break guys. Lands these leg kicks against the fence. Again, posting on the head here against the cage. There's that dirty boxing we talked about, the elbows, the uppercuts. And let's stop it right here. Man, that says it all, right? Get up, dude. Get up. This is what he wants, man. He loves this challenge. I think this is what who's tougher, man? Who's going to be able to handle it? So get on up. Here he is against Chandler. And Chandler's so explosive. Boom, he gets hit with that right hand. You know, he's doing the funny dance. He's on funny legs. But now he's come swinging again. There goes Gaethje. And this is who he is. He has it in him to stand and throw like that. Listen, there's all different types of fighters in the UFC, and every one of them's tough, guys. Let's not be disrespectful. It's so hard to get here. Even the guys that don't look so good, they've went through a lot to be here. But there's not a lot of people that can do this. He stays so calm under the fire. And now, all right, here I come. Again, why is Chandler shooting a shot right there? Because he knows what's coming, and here it comes. Chandler wanted to get him down because of this. Here comes Gaethje with the big shots, and he will hurt you on the feet. If you stand with him, you're probably going to fall first almost every single time. Justin Gaethje, incredible grit inside the octagon.
Into the 5 rounds, into the 4th and the 5th round, if need be. Justin Gaethje will come in waves, and he won't stop. Same can be said for Dustin Poirier. He has had epic battles as well, but he does it a little more strategically, which has allowed for him to have this great run this part of his career.
Absolutely, Brendan. And, you know, you touched on it. Earlier in his career, he said, I was emotionally charged, man. I would get emotional and, you know, I would make mistakes and I would get my own way. Now we see this maturity out of him, this patience, this discipline, where he can just kind of stand in the firefight and, hey, I'm all good. And once he gets you hurt, he takes you out. It's so impressive, making him one of the most dangerous lightweights there are in these 5-round fights. So here we see him here with Chandler, and he's against the fence, man, just rolling with the punches, getting bombed on. Why? Because he knows, boom, here comes the big shot. Oh, we got to talk about this, man. We got to talk about DP short pull-up right here, okay? Once DP starts pulling the shorts up, right?
You're in for it.
You're in for it, right? And this is kind of his like, all right, here we go. He kind of lifts him up because he knows that he's about to get in there, maybe get a little bit lower and throw down. But this is vintage Dustin Poirier. Once you see that short pull-up, man, you know, keep your eyes on the screen. And that's what he does. He give him a little head nod, like, let's go, man. Let's go. I want to do this. And again, we talked about his ability to switch sides and just keep throwing punches and bunches, and he will swarm guys. And you look at this left hand right here, again, still staying technical. He's outside of the position, and this is coming straight down the pipe, and Chandler's flat against the fence. So he's still being smart. Boom. I mean, just laced him with that shot. So Dustin is very patient now, and he's really matured. He knows how to wait for the shot, hurt the guy, and then try to finish. Man, I want to break this down. I want to talk about this. It's so impressive when I watch this in slow motion. And again, this just speaks to Dustin. I want you to really try to watch his eyes, and hopefully our audience can see this. I'm going to try to go slow here. Watch the way he continues to look at Hooker. Okay, he gets hit with that shot, but look at that. Most guys, when they get hit, they close their eyes, man. They turn away. They kind of crumple a little bit. And hey, it's human nature. If I throw something at your face, you're going to do this, right? You're not going to keep your eyes open. It's just human nature. But Dustin has learned, like, let me keep my vision downhill. Let me keep my eyes open. I'm going to find my opportunity. And Hooker's going after him right here. But let's look at Dustin. He's kind of rolling with these shots. And Hooker's going to land some. But look at his face. Look at his eyes. He's watching, boom. And then he unloads a big shot. And that shot hurt Hooker. And now he's going to start swinging. And we see he's squared up, but he's got all this power. Look at that. Swing. Here I come. And then again, another opportune takedown. So Dustin is so good under pressure. He's so good in these 5-round fights. He's so patient. He finds a way to break these guys and get that finish. And whenever he's in trouble, he just waits it out, and then he comes back. So something that's really changed later on in his career.
Both of these guys certainly thrive in the chaos, which is why they're fan favorites, and it's why they're fighting for a BMF title. What are the keys to victory, Sayif, as we kind of really summarize the impressive skill sets of both
Last
of these?
man standing here, baby. Yeah. Last man standing. I mean, first of all, Dustin's got to come forward in this fight. He cannot be reactive and let Gaethje start banging the legs and backing him up. Gaethje's way too dangerous for that. He's got to use his offense as his defense, right? Keep Gaethje guessing, not let him get set up with his power shots and his big kicks. He's got to really come out quick. And you saw him try to do that in the last fight, but I look for him to really do it in this fight. And to keep coming forward, he's got to use his speed and his tempo changes. We talk about how Dustin's gotten so much smarter. And he outsmarted Gaethje in that one. He waited and waited. Same thing in the first round. He's looking for the left hand. That's what ended the fight. So we know that's the read that he was looking for. That wasn't lucky, right? And he spoke to that. He's got to keep setting those traps, changing his footwork, changing the speed and the tempo, giving him a different look, trying to trap him something else. He cannot let him keep walking forward. And lastly, I think he needs to attack the body. These are two guys that you can't kill, right? I mean, they're almost impossible to take out. He's got to kind of mix up the attacks, try to take the gas out of Gaethje. Maybe we know Gaethje tires a little bit in the 4th and 5th round, but he'll keep coming. Maybe this will take some energy out of him and also get him to drop his hands a little, where Dustin can come back over the top and catch him. We know that Trevor Whitman and them are going to make some huge adjustments and try to not get hit with that left hand. So he's going to have to try to get creative to find the power shot to take him out.
All right, let's switch over to Justin Gaethje.
Justin, the highlight. Gaethje's got to use his hands to set up those kicks. That was his undoing in the last fight. He went to the well one too many times. He was great at it. He was landing them, but we don't like naked kicks in MMA because, like I said, I don't want to trade getting knocked out for a leg kick. And he kind of just threw that one a little lazy. Dustin was just sitting there waiting. He's got to use those hands, keep Dustin busy up top, and land those damaging blows to his legs. To do this, he's going to have to maintain pressure. He's got to come forward on him, keep him on his back heel, keep him guessing, not let him get his timing down where he can counter. Maybe he's going to mix up a little bit more clinching, a little bit more grappling. I definitely think he's going to come forward this fight, though. He's not going to sit and wait and let Dustin get his timing. And lastly, he's got to stay disciplined. We know this guy loves to throw down. It's who he is. That's why we love him so much. That's why we love to watch him. But for his sake and for him to get where he needs to be and try to get back in that title picture, he's got to stay off that A-line. He's got to set his shots up and really, really think risk versus reward against Dustin, not get hit with those big shots, and play a little bit smarter in this one, and maybe he can come out with a W.
Sayif does a lot of homework for this. I would argue these are two of the guys that are more fun to dive into the catalog.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje. And it's very challenging to have an epic matchup 5 years later, recircle and then expect it to be even better. But I think this is the case where the sequel may be even better than the original, and it comes with the BMF title on the line as the headliner of UFC 291 in Salt Lake City. Sayif Saud, expertly done as always. I'm Brendan Fitzgerald. Hope you enjoyed that, and certainly hope you enjoyed the main event at UFC 291. Thanks for watching UFC Breakdown.